Hi all, my name is David Aronchick and I co-founded Expanso. We all know that agents need visibility to real data to be useful. But look at the reality we have today. Zero governance, zero visibility. Ultimately, we're opening up the keys to the kingdom, database credentials, files on disk, just to get an agent to work. But you see those warnings on the right? Things being leaked and audit trails. This isn't just a risk compliance-wise. This is a security nightmare. And worse, just a operational nightmare. You don't know what's going on. And this isn't theoretical. Agentic AI is here already, whether or not you're using OpenClaw or LangChain or AutoGPT. These agents are writing code and browsing the web autonomously. The problem is, without guardrails, they are naive. They don't know what they don't know, and millions of API keys are already being leaked. And the question isn't whether or not the agents will access your data. It's whether or not you're watching them do that, and whether or not they're getting the data that you really need them to have. This is why we built Expanso. Instead of letting the agent talk to raw data through its interfaces, you go through the Expanso agent right in the middle, creating a secure infrastructure layer you see here. The agent talks to Expanso, and Expanso governs the connection. This gives you exactly what is listed at the bottom: secure data access, complete visibility into every action, and it works with any agent framework right out of the box. And even better, it makes your agents perform better, because now you're giving information that it needs in the form that it needs, rather than polluting it with lots of extraneous information and burning unnecessary tokens. Let me show you how this would work in a real setup, live demo. So to give you a little bit of the lay of the land, we're on a machine with OpenClaw running on it. Again, not terribly ideal way to do it, but it certainly is something that people are going to do. And on that data, we have lots of things. Inside our secret data, we might have agent rosters, we might have a database running on here. Maybe we have access to a local API that you should only have access to with particular credentials. And what we want to do is make sure that OpenClaw does ultimately have access to limited portions of this data, but maybe after it has gone through a clean pipeline. So one thing that exists on this machine is in our secret data, we have a file called agent roster.json. Don't have access to it. That's the user account that I'm running under and that OpenClaw is running under. We have Postgres database running on here that maybe we want to access that requires passwords, which again, I don't have access to, nor does OpenClaw. And similarly, if I ask an API that's also running on this machine, hey, give me your agent status, what are you going to do? So OpenClaw, I'm going to try and get at that data that's sitting there in secret on OpenClaw and say, please read the file in secret data agent roster.json. So, what's OpenClaw might try and do is see if it can elevate its permission or do other things like that. There are other things that you might be able to try to do on this machine, but right now we don't want to have any kind of access there. We don't want it to have a user permission or anything like that. Now I've already taken care of that because I have built a very simple pipeline here in the cloud called Intel Aggregator. And it is designed to read from all of these various data pipelines using local credentials. So it is the only thing that has credentials to access to it on this machine. It's running on our isolated user account. It has the ability to read from this agent roster. It has the ability to read this from this Postgres database and grab just important information about mission code, status, and classification. And it also has the ability to ping this agent API, which is also running on the machine. And we want to filter out secret agents, so on and so forth, and then ultimately produce a report that we can use on the back end. So now I'm going to go back to this and say, our OpenClaw, I have created an endpoint for you using Expanso Edge. You can now query the information necessary to build a mission report through the API that Expanso Edge has provided for you. Query that endpoint and deliver and format the results for me. And now OpenClaw is able to go and check that pipeline, figure out what's going on, figure out what the endpoints are, look at how to read it, and so on and so forth. And then ultimately, it will issue the request through the pipeline and get a result. And after just a second, you can see that it was able to, in fact, pull back those results and produce a rich report for me. Here you can see the military support, where the various clearances, so on and so forth, coming out of these databases. And ultimately, this is a rich way to give you isolation between what OpenClaw does and the flexibility that OpenClaw provides, but also the underlying data. And even better than that, first, you can see here the results of each execution, what's going on, what deployments were happening, so on and so forth. But on top of that, you're able to get logs and monitoring and restrict or change the logs along the way. So all of that put together shows you how you can use Expanso Edge in whether or not you're using it for OpenClaw or general agent isolation. It gives you the flexibility to go and separate things from a security perspective, but still take advantage of all the revolution happening around agents and agentic AI. And with that, if you have any questions, please ping us at expanso.io. And thank you very much.